architecture work in this platform, and I'd be super happy to take you on a tour on this platform and make a scene from a sci-fi series called Ready Player One, in which a scene is there with Mecha Godzilla, if I'm remembering correctly. So I have all the 3D models ready with me, and I'll explain to you what we will be covering. And all right, let's get on with it. So on your screen, you see that there is Epic Game Launcher installed. So most of you guys would have downloaded the software already because you like to play Fortnite or a lot of free games that they have been providing recently. So download the Epic Games launcher. You can go to epicgames.com and download the launcher there, or you can go to unrealengine.com and press download there, and it will redirect you to download the Epic Games launcher. Once you install Epic Games Launcher, then you all you need to do is go to the Unreal Engine tab, and you can see that there is a lot of information regarding what Unreal Engine is. There was a Unreal Fest online this time, and usually this is more of an offline event, but this time it was conducted offline. There is a first look at Unreal Engine 5. Currently, we are on Unreal Engine 4, and that's pretty much it. All right, so you can press on the Learn tab to see all of the tutorials and courses that they have curated for Unreal Engine developers, people looking to create content on Unreal Engine. You can go to Marketplace to download certain assets. Twinmotion is something related to architecture, and we don't need to care about it for now. So as you can see, we have a lot of stuff on Marketplace, both paid and free, right? Okay, so once you go to the library, you might not have anything here. All you need to do is press this plus button and select the 4.25.3 version. All right, because it's the latest stable version. Preview version are those versions which are not very stable. These are in beta right now. So beta versions are called preview in Unreal Engine, and you might not want to use those if you're looking for a stable and a good experience. So this is the latest version, and instead of update, you'll have a launch button here. So you can I don't want to update it right now, so I'm just going to directly launch it from here. So either you can select launch here, or you can press the launch button here. All right, so in my projects, you'll see all the projects that you have created in Unreal Engine previously. And in the vault, you'll have all the plugins, all the assets that you have downloaded through um, the marketplace. You'll see all of these, and all you need to do is click add to project, and you can select or create a new project or select a pre-existing project to add these assets. Okay, so I think the link sharing, the screen sharing has been switched off. Let me just turn it on quickly. So share screen. I'll just share the application window. Okay, so you can see this Unreal Editor 4.25.3. It's initializing. It might take a while to get it started. So at first, it does take a while, and you don't really need a super powerful machine to run Unreal Engine. But if you have a good like graphical capability, graphically capable system like with an RTX card or even a high-end GTX card, you might be able to get a lot out of it, and might be able to create some good content. Okay, so let's just wait for a second. Let me just see what messages you have been posting on the chat. Okay, so what is the hardware requirement of Unreal Engines? Okay, i5 or i3, 7th or 8th gen or above. Okay, if you have a dedicated graphic card, that's always a plus point in your favor. That's always a point in your favor. Get a GTX 1060, get a GTX 1650 or a 1660 at minimum, or you can get an RTX, like you can go above that. The sky is the limit, literally. And 8 gigabytes of RAM, or even I have made it work in 4 gigabytes of RAM, but eight is like, you know, you gotta be, you need to be secure, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so I think that my screen sharing is turned off again for some reason. Um, Okay, so this is the Unreal Engine project browser. So if you don't have any projects, you won't see this recent projects stuff. All you will see is new project categories. So we have games, film, architecture, automotive, product design, and manufacturing. Like I told, you can do literally anything that involves 3D and Unreal Engine. So in this tutorial, or in this webinar, we are just going to be going over through the games part, because film, television, and live events. Although I really want to dive into that, that's not what we're doing here. That's like virtual production and other kind of things. Okay, so we have first person template. So if you're creating a first person shooter like Call of Duty or Battlefield, you might want to look into that. You're creating a flying game like Microsoft Flight Simulator, or any other flight simulator, or like literally any Air Force related games, you might want to look into that. Puzzle games, you have rolling, third person, for example, like in GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption, those all are third person games. You have twin stick shooter, augmented reality. If you'd like, we can also conduct a small, small webinar on augmented or VR. We have vehicle advanced. We have vehicle, racing games like Need for Speed, Asphalt, and whatnot. So for this, let's just go for a blank template, because we are creating a movie and not a game, right? Although if we were creating a game, then we might need to choose a template, but currently we're not. So I'm just going to roll with the blank one. This doesn't mean it will not come with anything. It will certainly come with a few stuff. So I have chosen to go with the blueprint because, as much as I love to code, blueprint system is really effective. So blueprint is a visual scripting method where you don't write actual codes, you just connect blocks of code, and the whole thing runs off of that. In C++ project, you will need to write each and every line of C++ code by yourself. Um, let's just go for desktop or console. Maximum quality. We are going to disable ray tracing, but if you are interested in ray tracing, you might want to enable that. But just make sure that your graphic card or your machine is capable of that. So Unreal Engine includes an additional content pack containing simple, placeable 3D objects with basic materials and textures. And it also includes a lot of particle effects, a lot of things that we can directly add into our environment. So that is what is called starter content. And a wise man has once said that never forget to add starter content in your Unreal project. Okay, and you can name your project, so and select what directory they are going to be saved in. So my directory is this one, and I'm going to name this Mecha Godzilla. I'm going to create the project. Okay, so we are going to see this, like, okay, so this is something that you would be seeing right now. Mecha Godzilla, it's creating, loading 91%, and it takes a while to create the project. So we'll just wait here. Okay, so is there any subscription fee for Unreal? No. So, Unreal Engine is open source. That is why it's free. Open source softwares are always free. Okay. Um, what is generally the size of your project? It depends on what kind of a project that you're doing. For example, if you're creating a Spider-Man movie with a lot of, high definition assets, you might want to, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my whole screen rather than just one window. That might be easier for all of us to collaborate, right? So we have our project here. So if you are new to Unreal Engine 4, it would come into something, a layout that is, okay, a layout like this, where we'll have place actor panel on the left. Okay, so place actor panel includes all the basic stuff, all the pre-built stuff that we can add into Unreal Engine. So we have an empty character, point light, we have various type of lights, like directional light, which is basically the sun, point light. It is a kind of light, which emits light in all the directions. So you can see this sphere. The sphere basically denotes how far the light will go. You can change the properties of a object in the details panel right here. So if I decrease the intensity of this point light from 8 to say 5, you can see it's getting brighter. If I increase it, if I decrease it, it's getting dimmer and dimmer and dimmer, and it's gone. So I've reached 0, so it's gone. Okay, so I'm going to delete the point light. Okay, so we have spotlight, we have rectilinear light, which basically emits light in basically a very straightforward manner. So if you can see how this emits light, the rays are parallel to each other. That's how rectilinear light works. And then we have skylight. So skylight basically illuminates our sky, which we have already in our scene. And we have then cinematics, we have various type of cameras, we have various visual effects, fog, exponential fog, we have reflections, we have decals are basically effects like blood splashes or puddles that you want to create. Those are decals. We have various kinds of geometry, box, cone, cylinder. All you need to do is to add them in your scene is drag them into your scene, and you can change the properties of the object that you have just selected using your left mouse button in the details panel. So if I want it to be small, I'll set the scale to 0.8. Okay, I think that we are pretty much got ourselves familiar with the place actors panel. In the content browser, all the content that we have imported or that we have built will be shown. So that is our content browser. It's basically a file manager for our project. Then we have this upper toolbar, which basically has various different options. Let me just drag it all the way across so that you can see all the different options that it offers. So it has save current, it will save the current level. You can set up a Git or GitHub repository, so you can connect it to version source control, right? You have different modes. So, for example, if you're creating a landscape, you can create a landscape. You can add foliage. I'll come to that later. We have content. So content browser is right here. We have a marketplace, a shortcut to a marketplace, settings, mega scans. I'll come to that a bit later. Blueprints. So you can access all the blueprint class from here, right? You can open the blueprint file of the level, etc., etc. Cinematics. Um, About to come to that in a while. You can build the whole level. It will build all the reflections and all of the it will trace all of the lights, and it basically will render the whole level for you. So that's what build does. You can press play to see how the game is actually playing. So if my desktop audio is like audible to you, if it's on, then you might be able to see hear the background music in this level. And I can move my camera here and there. Okay, launch is basically launching the whole game that you have created, right? So let's just come back to the way we were. All right, now let's learn more about what I was talking before, is changing the properties of a substance. Anything that has to do with 3D is, the 3D development basically has two main components that it cannot exist without. So first is materials and textures. So what is a texture and what is a material? Material is 3D information that is going to be used to give something color, like to give something like definition of what it looks like. For example, if you select this chair and if you go below, you see the in materials it says M underscore chair, and you can find it and you can open it, right? And you can see a lot of nodes being connected, right? So we have a base color node, a metallic node, which will, and then a roughness and normal and whatnot, right? And if I maximize this and I increase the size of this viewport, small viewport right here, I can see how the material would look like, right? So usually a sphere is used, although you can change the shape of this preview. So you can see how the material actually looks like. It is 3D information, right? So how did we create these 3D information? Do you see all these nodes? This one in blue color, it says texture sample. So what is a texture? Texture is basically 2D information, and then material is using that 2D information to convert it into 3D, right? So if I basically define a game engine, it's nothing but a data converter. I am inputting data in one format and it is outputting data in another. My input was 2D information and what it gave to me was 3D. As you can see, there are different kind of textures that we have used in this particular material. First, let's talk about the base color. So the base color is basically made of a lot of different materials. So there is gray, there is white, there is orange. So what does this mean? Base color is nothing but what is the general you know color of my object, right? Without knowing its metallic properties, without knowing if it will reflect any light or not, without knowing anything about it, just the basic general color. Is it red? Is it orange? Is it red, green, blue? um Stuff like that. Metallic information is how much lustrous is going to be. That's what metallic is. Specular is basically how much light is it going to reflect on a direct angle, how much reflective is it going to be. That is specular. Then roughness is basically how rough it will be. Normal is basically used to describe what points of my chair, of my material, is going to be at a high point and what is going to be at a low point. So if you zoom into the normal texture here, you can see that the structure of the chair is carved. It feels like it is carved on a blue paper, right? Or if I just open this, texture. So if I just open this up, so you see that it is clearly describing how deep a certain position so displayed, right? And you can see the resolution is 2K by 2K. um, you see a lot of information about it. You can even compress it if you're aiming for a mobile display or stuff like that. Okay, so I think that is enough about materials and textures. I hope it is, um, you know, under, I hope you all understood that. If you have any questions, we'll hold off till the end. It is a 1.5 hour long session, and I'll hope to create a good small animated clip with you all. Okay, now the first component we have covered are first components we have covered are materials and textures. Now, what is the other main component in 3D development? It is called transformation. So, if you are a science student, if you were a science student, you'd recommend you'd recognize this term. Transformation is basically nothing but the location, the rotation and scale, that is the size of a particular 3D object, where it is, what is its orientation, and what is its size. So that's basically what transformation is. And if someone asks you, if you're doing a game development internship or a 3D development internship, they ask you to, okay, change the location of this object and transform it to be somewhere else. So all you need to do in Unreal Engine 4 is grab the object using these arrows and just drag it wherever you want it to be, right? Or you can directly add the coordinates of the 3D, you know, system. So if you want it to be at origin, so where is origin? 0 comma 0 comma 0. So right here. If you want it to be a little bit up, you can just increase the Z coordinate. So blue is Z, yellow is Y, green is Y, and red is X. So that is pretty much it. If you want to scale, um, if you want to increase the size, all you need to do is select and scale objects, or press R, or select this. It's very simple. And you can drag it in wherever direction you want its size to be increased at. Right? You can hold actually more than one direction at one time. So it's really easy to use. Okay. So we have gone over, location. We have gone over scaling. Let's go over rotation one time. Now, if you press E, or if you select this select and rotate objects, you can change its orientation by selecting it using left mouse button and just moving our mouse while selecting the object and whatever orientation you'd want. So we have three axes of rotation, obviously, because we are working in a 3D environment. So we have the X value, the Y value, and the Z value. And you can also, change the values from the details panel as well. Okay, now the world outliner will always show you what stuff you have in your scene right now. So currently we have a bunch of chairs. We have two chairs. So chair. We have floor and another floor. We have statue, a small statue here. So it's basically a manager of all the 3D objects that we have added in our scene. Okay, so all right, let's move on by creating a new level. So I am going to press right click. Okay. Or what we can do is file, new level. Now you can select time of day. We are basic, empty level with basically come with nothing in it. Let's go with default. I am going to save this level, called it Mecha Godzilla. Okay. So we have saved this. If you press play or press Alt P, you can see basically nothing is there, only a skybox, a sun, and a flow tile. So what you can do is just delete this flow tile since we don't need it. We are going to build a landscape, so a terrain basically. And how do we do that? We select modes and press landscape. Okay. We are going to wait for until all the shaders are compiled. Okay, it's done. Now I am going to select a 15 by 15 quad landscape. Okay, let's do 7 by 7 because we don't need our landscape to be really big. So this how it should look like. So 7 by square 7, we can edit what section size you require. I think 1 into 1 is fine. You can change the number of compositions, components. So you can change the overall resolution, and you can change the total number of components and whatnot. So 7 by 7 quads is fine. I am going to choose a material which is called gravel or like rock. So let's choose rock and press create. Now wait for a while. It will come. It will take time to sculpt the whole landscape, create the whole landscape. So if you uh, you know press Alt P or press play, you can see how the rocks look like actually. Like it looks quite fine, right? The detail is really good. Okay, now if you press escape, and now if you have created your landscape, you might be seeing this halo-ish thing, that is stuck to our mouse. It's nothing but a sculpt tool. So sculpt tool is used to create mountains. So if you press your left mouse click button and just kept pressing it and move it across the landscape, it will create a mountain. So basically what we're trying to do is create a big mountain, and in front of it will be our Godzilla. So let's try to do that. I have this sculpt tool right here, and if I press it, that will start creating a mountain. Okay, let's try that again. All you need to do is press left mouse click button. And you might think that this mountain seems a bit rough, and this is not looking really good. But we have a lot of tools in our toolkit to fix it actually. Okay, so we have created our mountain, but it seems very, very uneven, right? It seems like it has been created by a 3-year old with clay. So what we can do to smooth is just select smooth tool from here and run it across um, your landscape. So I think we have smoothened it too much. So let's just try to sculpt it again, and let's use a noise tool to basically give it more unevenness. Okay, so you can increase the strength of the brush and change and provide a little bit of unevenness using noise. Um, let's just smoothen it out again. I think we can make it a bit better. Okay, so this looks like fine by me, and I think we have done a great job creating a mountain, a rocky mountain, and we are going to place Godzilla in front of it. So let's just flatten all the land that is, around the mountain. So select flat and just drag your mouse across the screen by pressing left click. Okay. All right. Let me just see if you're posting any questions. Okay. Yeah, this exactly looks like Blender. This basically looks like Blender. Blender is also a 3D creation tool. It's also open source, but it's not as powerful as Unreal Engine. Although you can use Blender to create games, it is mostly used for 3D modeling and animation. All right. Um, okay, you can ask your questions. I am sorry for going too fast. Maybe if you'd like, I can go a bit slow. Okay, so you can ask your questions. Yes, a lot of objects can be created using sculpt tool, smooth tool, flatten, we have erosion, hydro, noise, retop. You can basically change the visibility of an object also, of the terrain also. So it basically depends on your imagination of how far you can go. The software is Unreal Engine 4. If you're joining late, we are creating an animated movie using Unreal Engine 4. Um, how to give a color for the mountain? Basically, the terrain that we have created, the material that we have chosen will be the color of our mountain. Although you can, basically go here and select manage, select the portion of your landscape, and for example you want your material to be, for example, grass for the mountain, right? And you can change it, and now it's grass. All right, so I'll just prefer my Rocky Mountains. So that's how you can basically change your whole color. Yes, it's Unreal Engine. How to give a color for the mountain? Do you like? Okay, so we have created our mountain. Let's add our 3D mesh. So I'm just going to close this landscape panel here because we are done landscape editing. Now we need to download a 3D model or create a 3D model. So currently we don't have a time to basically download a 3D model. All we are going to do is go to sketchfab.com, or you can go to turbosquared or free3d.com to download a um, free 3D model. So, and just type here Mecha Godzilla, and you can select whatever Godzilla that suits your requirement. So I think I have already downloaded. Okay, so let me just check if I have already downloaded it or not. I have a lot of junk in my models folder. It's okay. So I already have an animation and a model. Okay, so all you can do is just select downloadable in the filter, and you can download any free um, 3D model basically. So select this one. I think this is the one that I went with. I think. So you can basically view it in 3D and Sketchfab and download the 3D model. Now the 3D model, if you download it, should be in .obj or .fbx format, because that will only work, right? So OBX or okay. So OBX or FBJ format are the only two formats that work with 3D meshes and Unreal Engine. All right, so I have already downloaded the 3D model. So all you need to do is, first of all, let's create a folder. So right click, new folder, and type Mecha Godzilla. Right, I created a new folder. Press enter to open it, and then press import. Now to do whatever directory you stored your Mecha Godzilla 3D model or whatever that you're trying to create, select it, open. Keep the skeletal mesh checked. There are two types of mesh that we can interact with. Mesh means 3D object or 3D model. Interact with in Unreal Engine 4. First is skeletal mesh. Skeletal mesh is something that we'll be using for character. For example, if you're creating a GTA 5 like game or a movie with humans, or basically a creature that will have animations, right? So that's a skeletal mesh. And static meshes are basically non-animatable stuff like table, chair, things that you won't be animating, that won't have any moving parts basically. and all you need to do is press import, and we'll wait for a second. Okay, doesn't matter. Save it, and I it basically just imported an empty material, right? Basically imported an empty material, and our Godzilla is currently white in color. So what I'm going to do is I am going to create a new folder called textures, and I'm going to import all the textures that I had. So you can also learn how to make textures, uh, materials. Sorry. So open the 3D material, or what you can do is press right click and press material, and I'm going to type Godzilla body M, save it, open it, textures, drag the base color and connect it to the base color node, right? Drag the normal and connect it with the normal one. And then we have specular. So it will define all the reflections since our Mechagodzilla is made of metal, and press save. So it will save as well as apply all the material that we have created. Okay. Yes, Unreal Engine is free. 7:30, I guess, would be till when session is going to be ending. Anyway, we have created our 3D material. If you maximize this, you can see which node is connected to which. So base color is connected to base color, specular one is connected to specular, and normal one to normal. We have saved it. Okay. And again, we need to create a material for its eyes, because there are two different type of textures, one for body and one for eyes. So we need to create a material for the eyes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create
We are really sorry for the delay, guys, and we are waiting for the speaker to rejoin. He has some technical issues, but there is no problem in that. We will stick along and we'll wait for him to come back. And we hope you guys are enjoying the session. Everybody, if you're new to the stream, you're old to the stream, just subscribe the channel and have a good day. We are waiting for the speaker to rejoin, and as soon as he rejoins, we'll be good to go. Those who stick till the end are going to be provided with validated certificates. So please, please, please stick along and don't leave the session in between, because you've been there halfway. So just halfway to go. Just stick along, and then once you're done, you are going to get proper certificates in your mail. So we are good to go. And Andrea Martin, we are going to give you the link in the description, in the live chat, once the session comes to an end. You guys are going to fill the form, and then you are going to receive your certificates in your mailbox. And yeah, this is it. So I hope you guys are enjoying the session. If you guys have any problems which you're facing till now, you can tell it in the live chat and we can fix it. So any problems? Any problems you're finding? Yes, 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 yes. ABC, the certificate of any value. The certificate is validated and you can put it up on your LinkedIn. It is validated by the company named Give My Certificate. So, yes, you will have a very, very big value of the certificate, because you're joining a live session, attending it, and you're getting a certificate which is validated for free. Link of the software. Okay. Guys, this is the link of the software. Make a live session on give game development also. Yes, Indian technology, we are going to have a game development series. It won't be a 1 day session, it will be a 3 day series which is coming up on the 15th, 16th and 17th. So once you register for that, you will be eligible for attending the this thing series, and then you'll be good to go and you can learn how to make your own games. Diksha, the QR code on the ticket is for attending your live session, and you can scan the QR code and you'll be redirected. Registration link, Indian technology, you will get the registration link in the end of the session. And if you are there in the WhatsApp group of this session, you will be provided there also. Unity or Unreal? Unreal, Dhruv Patel. We'll be teaching it on Unreal. And if you guys haven't subscribed the channel, do subscribe, because once, if you are missed out, you will receive the mail, you will receive the notification. And Mohammad Rashid, certificate link at the end of the session. So stick along. I am really sorry for the technical issue. But I believe this session was aimed at a higher, because this is not coming. No, no, no. This is covering basic elements A beats, but you have to stick along till the end. Once, I would recommend one more thing. If you guys have any doubts, and if you guys don't understand, what you can do is the video will be available after the session also. So you can also do one thing, that once you are sitting for making your own movie, you can come up and you can check the video again and again. So once you check the video again and again, you will be able to get your doubts cleared. And still, if you find any doubts, you can DM us on Instagram or anybody in the core team or anywhere. Sir, please share the above link on WhatsApp group. Above link for the Unreal Engine. Okay, I'll put it on the WhatsApp group so that you can access it anytime, anywhere. So guys, the link has been shared on the WhatsApp group also. So if you guys have any doubts, you can actually see it there. If your error will come up, how to fix? If any error comes up, Soumya, you can check Ishan Vohra out on LinkedIn and you can contact him there. Ishan Vohra, the speaker of the session. We have to log in Unreal Engine Creators Live. No, yeah, you have to log in, but it's free. is this session for one day? Yes, it is only for today. It will be ending by the end of by 7:30 ish. Certificate link. Kanwal Zaman, we are going to share the certificate link at the end of the session. Sir, Unreal link on WhatsApp. Sent it, Achal. This software is free to use. Yes, it is free to use. Certificate link. Dishan Roy. Again and again, I'm saying the same thing. Please teach 2D. Okay, yes, we are going to teach 2D also, but that will be, probably at the end of the month of November. Which link did you send on WhatsApp? Annie's Kitchen, we have sent the link. We have sent the link for the Unreal Engine. Ishan sir, what do he do? He is an intern in Halnix. Ishan, am I right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's
So
a
shall we continue? I
sure.
I apologize for the weird break.
You are right,
Okay.
Ishan.
So
The screen is
okay.
being shared.
Okay. So basically, what I have been talking about, I think a lot of people have joined after 6:30, um, right? So like a lot of people have like are a bit lost right now. So what I'm trying to do is we are trying to create a animated movie using a 3D development engine, which is called Unreal Engine. It is free to use. Yes, you would have to download first Epic Games Launcher, and then through that you will download Unreal Engine. Go to unrealengine.com and you will see all the information that you need to know there. um, okay, so I am I have covered all the basic stuff. I have told about how you can create your own project. What are the basic game templates that you can use? I have shown you how to create a 3D material. I have shown how to basically change the properties of a particular object. All you need to do is select it and just modify the required property on the left side in the on the right side in the details panel, right? So I have gone through all that basic stuff. Okay, so I won't be covering 3D because my specialization is basically in 3D movies, 3D stuff. I have a game coming out on Xbox One, PlayStation, Xbox Series S and X, PC, and some other platforms. That is in 3D. I have I have some video projects that I'm doing. That is all in 3D. So most of my work is in 3D, and I don't usually poke around in 2D because it doesn't excite me. So I'm going to open Mecha Godzilla folder, and I pressed import, selected my 3D model, which should be of .fbx or .obj file. Please make sure of that. I'll comment down in the chat as well. It's .fbx and .obj. So I hope I'm making myself clear here. All right. So it was here. So select your 3D model, press open, and I already have a 3D asset. So I am not going to import it again. So open your 3D asset. So it was called zero in my case. So I'm just going to open it. You can hover over asset and see what type it is, where it is stored, what are the vertices. So everything in 3D, whether in Blender or in Unreal Engine or in Unity, whatever you're creating in 3D, it will always have vertices. Vertices is various points. So it has 15,000 vertices. It has 102 bones. It has 24,730 triangles and whatnot. So when you're working with 3D, everything is made of triangles, basically, right? So if you go to the skeleton view, I think you can even view that in triangles. I'm not sure if we can do that in Unreal Engine or if it's in only in Blender. Anyway, so we have this 3D mesh here, and you can select a particular, um, bone, and you can rotate it. So I'm rotating its spine, and you can see how it actually interacts. Okay, so on the left side we have the details panel of our asset here, and here I am going to choose the material that we created for the body. So just select your material. So this is mine, Godzilla underscore body underscore M, and I'll go back to the skeletal mesh window and press this arrow, use selected asset from content browser. And we are going to just wait for a second, and this should compile my texture. So now my texture is applied on the Godzilla. It looks pretty cool. So I am going to save it. I am going to create another material which is going to be called I. So Godzilla underscore I underscore M. So I am adding underscore M because it is a um, it is a material file. Okay, and it is a naming convention that we use in 3D. So if I'm creating a particle file, I will add underscore P at the end of it. If I'm creating a blueprint file, I will add underscore BP at the end of it. Right? So here are my textures. I have only one texture to add in ice, that is the base color one. It's okay if you don't have any. It's good if you do, because it always feels good to give shining properties, like shining, metallic, specular, roughness, emissive. Emissive is basically if the object is emitting light. So in this case I would want it to be glowing, so I connected the base color to emissive as well. And I will show you in a sec that these eyes will be a bit glowing. Okay, so that is pretty much it about materials and how you can apply them and how you can create them. Now let's try to add our Godzilla into our scene. Okay, so just add Godzilla, just drag the asset and drag it in your scene. Currently it's just way too small. I want this to be as big as our um, you know mountain. So I'm just going to slowly increase the size from the scale option in the details panel. So here it is. So I'm just going to scale it. Okay, and I will also rotate it. Okay, wrong direction. I'll press E and then just select the orientation where I want it to be rotated. Okay. So this looks good. Okay, we'll also set up a night scene. So I'll set the sky to night. So that would look pretty cool, right? And then add various light sources to light up our scene. Okay, so we have our Godzilla. Now let's set up various animations that we can play. Right, so I will be opening a website called Mixamo.com, which is basically an animation website. It helps you create animations. So I'm just going to give me one sec. I'm just going to be logging in with my Google account. Okay, so Mixamo is basically consisting of a huge library of motion captured assets, right? So motion capture is basically I'll do a particular action and it will be translated into an animation. So whatever I'll do here, the my 3D model will be doing in the computer. So someone made thousands of motion captured animations and put them online, and Adobe basically bought the whole website. So it says Adobe here, and it's part of the Adobe suite. And you can see we have a 3D model already here, and if you select any animation, it will play that. So I selected dying, and it is playing that animation. So let's, you know, pick our Godzilla skeleton wherever it is stored. I am going to choose source 0, and it is going to take a while to upload it. It might take a while to process the character. Okay, so let's try uploading it again. I am not sure why it's not working because it did work earlier. So all you need to do is just import your character and you can add various animations. All right. So if this is not going to work, I'll just showcase another 3D model and another one of its Mixamo's own character and show you how you can download your own animation. So if it does not work, we'll go with that, and I'll import. I'll also show you how to import. Okay, I'll import the animation. Okay, so it's probably done. Let's see how it did. It's processing. Your character is processing. This should take less than half a minute. All right, so we can see how our Godzilla is performing a test animation. You can see the skeleton, the 100 bones of our um, Godzilla. Press next, next, and now you will see it here in the viewport. Now I am going to um, search for roar. So basically roaring, and I will select mutant roaring animation. Okay. So as you can see, it is performing the animation. Right? Color on your 3D model. You can basically change the arm space and various parameters in here. Okay, so maybe just open your arms a little bit more. Right, looks good. And press download without skin because we have the skin and skeleton already with us. And press download. So once you download it, it will be downloaded in the form of an FBX format, the same format that we imported our 3D model with. All right. So let's go and open Unreal Engine. I'll create a new folder called animation. All right. Press import animation, and we have mutant roaring our 3D animation. Awesome. Now it will ask me to select a skeleton. I will select the skeleton of my 3D Godzilla, which is called 0_skeleton, and press import. Now just wait a while for a second. Save your assets and open it up. Now just double click to open it, and you can see our Godzilla is roaring, and it looks really good. Okay, so first of all, let's we have our animation, right? We need a night scene. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the light source, that is the directional light, this kind of a thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it by 90 degrees so that it's facing upwards. So what it will do is it will force the sun to face the other way. And when the sun will face the other way, you can select your sky sphere and you can press refresh. And tada, we have a beautiful nightscape. Now, obviously, if you will build your lighting, everything will become black. select allow access and just wait for a second. I am building the lighting because okay, so this is how it is looking right now. Everything is dark and we have our Godzilla in the distance, right? Now we can add a light source like a spotlight above our Godzilla, something like this, and we can increase its first of all, let's increase its intensity. Let's give it a bit of a bluish color and increase the attenuation radius. Let's decrease the intensity a little bit. And we can see our Godzilla. So I hope it's visible, right? So we have our animation to be played. We have our lighting setup. We have our transit. We have our landscape setup. We have pretty much everything. So the set is done. Like when you're creating a movie, you have to set up your studio. You have to put all the things in their place. Then you have various tasks like lighting. So we have done that. We have placed our actors, and all we need to do is place the cameras. So in cinematic, in place actors panel, there is an object called Cine Camera Actor. Select it, drag it in your scene, and you can see I am seeing the perspective of what the camera is actually seeing in this bottom right window. And I'm just going to rotate it. Or what you can do to basically to control cameras, Unreal Engine has created a piloting system. So you can press Control Shift P or press right click and select pilot camera actor, and you can basically view and move the camera using your arrow keys, right? So this is a good angle, right? You can exit it, save it. Now let's add a level sequencer. So we have our camera setup. All we need to do is press action and record all the animation. Okay. So what we are going to do is I apologize if I'm going. I like realize after I've covered a certain portion of a particular topic, and then I realized, oh my god, I was going I was going really quickly. So um, you can ask your questions right now, and I'll answer them as best to my capability as possible. And I apologize for the laggy video of mine. It's just that Airtel Wi-Fi sucks, and the electricity in Delhi sucks. So, um, okay, so please ask any queries that you have, or what you can do is basically just view the whole session as it is right now, and then come back to it once when you're creating your own 3D movie. Just then that would be really helpful to you. Okay, so that's what I usually do. I watch all the webinars that Unreal Engine has to offer, so like their official channel, and then I come back to them when I'm implementing that feature. Okay, so in cinematics, in the above toolbar, there is an option called cinematics, and you can add a level sequence. Now it will ask you where to save it. Just save it in the root folder in this case, and I'm going to call it just sequence. Right, as simple as that. And when you go to your content browser, there it is in the root folder, our sequence. Now, people who have done video editing might be a bit familiar with it, uh, uh, because a lot of things are really the same. So here we have our track editor. Track editor is nothing but a lot of stuff that you will be animating and moving, right? So all the stuff, all the 3D objects, all the basically all the objects, not just 3D, all the objects that would be involved in your movie, in your animation, will be here in the track editor, and basically you can change their properties with time, with each frame, using the timeline. So you can select at 60 frames per second, Godzilla will roar. At 120 frames per second, he will vanish or whatever. So you can do all of those things using track editor and timeline. Timeline is basically just uh, displaying you at what frame what action will be performed, and you can add keyframes. So keyframe is basically when an event will start taking place, or when a property will be changed, right? Or define, or basically they will define the time frame of a property being changed. So if I say at 0 the Godzilla start roaring, and the start moving, and on frame 90th it will move here, right? So it will create two keyframes. One is here displaying the initial position, and one is here displaying the final position. Let me just show you how that will work. So you have your object selected. Select the track, actor to sequencer, add 0. Basically, that is a 3D model, right? Now, go to the 0th frame, or whatever your initial frame you want to be. Press this little plus icon and select this option. Create a key when channel or properties change. Go to your destination frame, for example, 120 frames, that is 4 seconds, and move your object. It will create another key. And if it doesn't, just press this plus icon. Now, when you go back to your 0th frame, you can see that we are transitioning from one position to another. You can press space or press play here to play the animation. Alright, so we don't want our Godzilla to move anywhere. So I'm just going to delete both of these. I wanted to be doing an animation, which is basically roaring, and it is going to be performing for 300 frames, that is 10 seconds. All right, and what we are going to do is we are going to add actor to sequencer, which is our camera. So let's see, we have our cine camera actor. We have added that to our sequence as well, because we are going to animate this as well, right? So save it and press space, and you can actually see the animation being performed. All right, so we have added the animation. Let's try to make it a more dramatic kind of a thing. Okay, so go to the 0th frame and press this camera option, which says lock camera actor 1 to the selected viewport. Now if you press this, we are going to be switched to the pilot mode, right? And I'm going to go a bit close to our Godzilla here, right? And then I'm going to, so let's add our first keyframe by pressing plus, and then let's go to the 300th frame, and we will be a bit behind. Okay, so this will be moving with Godzilla. So now when you press save and press play, we can actually see how the animation is being performed, right? So now that we have all our information, and we have performed all of these functions that we It looks really good. Maybe in the end, in the last key, we might be able to, yeah, place it in a better position. So it says lighting needs to be built. Let's build the lighting again because we want our lighting to be proper. And okay, so uh, let's try to save it. And if you want to see it through a more cinematic aspect, just select perspective and select cinematic viewport. All right. So now we have like a cinematic viewport, and you can minimize your sequencer and move the seek bar and just press play. You can see it performing our animation. Okay. So my apologies. We did not select lock our viewport to camera. So just camera cut, right? And press play. And we are going backwards and backwards. So it rode twice. You can actually do change the animation properties like the speed of how it's going and other stuff. So play rate, just change it to zero point 0.8, so it will be a bit slow. Now when you press play, it will roar a bit slowly. The whole animation will be a bit slow, right? And it actually looks really, really good. Save it. And okay, now we are done with our small movie. How do we, output it? How do I use it? How do I publish it on Instagram or YouTube or whatever your platform is, right? All you need to do is select this render button. We are all going to be, rendering a video sequence. Although you can also render a image sequence also. So it will be images of each frame. So 300 frames. We don't have any audio, but you can add audio also, include audio. I am going to select 1920 by 1080. Okay, use compression, but I'm going to decrease the quality. I'm just going to add 60% compression, and then just select capture movie, and it will open a small preview. All right, so let's see what happens. It is a 10-second movie. Let's see how it performs. It will use your graphic card to render the movie. So if you have a good graphic cards, you will get like a small render times, which is always preferable. Okay, so capture finished. Open capture folder. This is where it is stored, and you can double click to open it and see how our movie has been made. And believe it or not, this actually looks really, really nice. Although final touches like audio and like a particle effect, which basically shows fire coming out of Godzilla's mouth would be amazing. Although particle is a bit more advanced level stuff, creating particles. So let's try to keep that for a later webinar where we dig even deeper into Unreal Engine. I am basically in love with the software, and I love creating such stuff. Main issue is how to add sound. Let me cure that issue. So right now, all you need to do is import basically a sound asset. So for example, I'll just go to my UE models folder, and I have a lot of sound files. So .wav. Okay, so there are a lot of wave files. So I'm just going to add eerie music. Open it. It is going to import it. So always use wav.wav file. So I have this eerie music right now, track, audio track, and plus audio, and now add just whatever music that you want to add. We Unreal Engine already comes with a lot of audio assets, but I just imported my own, and let's try to use that. So I added ED music, and it added that. And when you press save and press play, you can actually hear the music. It's very subtle, but you can hear it. So this is how you can add audio. And now when you render it, just select audio output format to master audio submix. All right. And I think that is pretty much it as far as Unreal Engine and animation in Unreal Engine for beginners goes. Uh, Create your own 3D movie and tweet it at me. I would be amazed to see your renders, right? Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff with Unity 3D as well. It's just I prefer Unreal Engine and the what can you call it, the versatility of the software to use it for literally anything. Yeah, sure, you can share your work in Instagram and just tag me. Yeah, my Instagram tag is Ishan Vora 2. So tag me. Artishan Vora 2 is my Instagram. So there is a difference between Unreal Engine and Unity, but um, that's a topic for another day. Like calculating differences between both the software is a bit more. You can ask your questions. I am here for 5 more minutes. Then I have got another meeting and I gotta rush there. So, which is the best software for me? It's Unreal Engine. It depends on what preference. Um, Okay, a week. A lot of people were complaining this is not basic. When I was just literally explaining the basic stuff, and you're adding AI. AI is there in Unreal Engine. You can do artificial intelligence based simulations and create enemies who work based on AI. Um, that is like next level stuff. Um, I'll share it on my Twitter. You can get the video from there. I'll definitely share it. I'm going to share it. I am a Twitter addict and I share almost everything there. Which is the best website for characters similar to Mixamo? I get a lot of my assets from TurboSquid, Sketchfab, for all of these webinars that I organize because I usually don't have to time to model the characters that I use by myself. So I use from these websites. Although you can only use characters for free from these websites if you're doing stuff for educational purposes. If you are about to create a game that you're going to sell and you're using those characters, you need to pay the artist who made those models. So fill the certificate form now. All right. Which software is best for making AR app? Unity is really good in augmented reality. You should check that out. Unreal Engine also has, although I have not played with that a lot. I have played with Unity and it was relatively easy. So you can check that out. Although Unreal Engine is obviously more powerful. Game design ka workshop we are planning. You can get more details from the team. I think I can hand over the. Yes, you can make a game like GTA 5 or using this platform if you have like a team of 250 people. Because GTA 5 was made by thousands of developers, literally. Just type Mixamo.com. It's not that hard. You don't need a link to everything. Mixamo.com, Sketchfab.com, view the webinar again. It's not that difficult. LinkedIn.com/in/Ishan Vora 2. That's my this is my LinkedIn profile. So you can just copy this URL and paste it in your browser. Okay, so I will be leaving